South African opposition party supporters took to the streets of cities across the country to protest against continued power cuts and poor government service delivery. There were similar protests too in Kenya and Tunisia, where opposition parties had rallied their supporters to demonstrate against authorities on Monday. CGTN's Julie Shire has the latest from South Africa.
South Africa's capital, Pretoria, came to a standstill as the economic freedom fighters led a nationwide shutdown. On the eve of Human Rights Day, the opposition party is demanding an end to load shedding and for Cyril Ramaphosa's resignation as president.
We are tired of corruption. We are tired of what they are doing. We are tired of Ramaphosa. In fact, we are saying Ramaphosa must go. Ramaphosa must go, and he must go now.
As far for service delivery, the services within our country is very bad. We don't have roads, the security, in terms of the crime is very high.
Sporadic incidents of violence broke out and dozens of arrests were made overnight, but protests mostly remained peaceful amid a strong show of police and army presence. The EFF has vowed to continue to fight if President Ramaphosa defies the call to end his term.
We'll continue to intensify our protests. We'll continue to hold him accountable in Parliament and use legislative means and the courts as well. It's going to be continued rolling protests.
Similar protests erupted in Nigeria, Tunisia, Senegal and Kenya over high levels of corruption, unemployment, poverty and growing inequality.
I think this is a dangerous formula in the long run, which states and governments are able to at best contain. But they are not going to resolve them with the current courses of action unless you have a broad-based, sustainable development approach that actively tries to be much more inclusive.
We think that this is a reflection of a new wave of politics which are being ushered into the continent, where we're going to get rid of the liberation movements as custodians of our future.
There's a growing discontent not just in South Africa but in other nations too. African people want jobs and better lives for themselves and for generations to come. Julie Shire, CGTN, South Africa.